Welcome to my Introduction to Networking course, typically abbreviated ITN. This will be for the CCNA version 7 curriculum. Hello and welcome to Lab 12.6.6, Configuring IPv6 Addresses. Alright, so I just loaded it. Time elapsed about 20 seconds just from me opening it. So this is just the base one. Remember, read through the background. I have the address table off to the side. That way I can easily refer back to it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. Part 1. Step 1. Enable the routers to forward IPv6 traffic. So we're going to hop over to R1. I've modified the text so it's a little bit easier to read. I'm going to get to my global configuration. Oh, config T, not Y. Alright, first thing is first is to turn on or enable IPv6. It literally is IPv6 unicast routing. Without that, IPv6 won't function on our Cisco devices. Alright, once you do that, then we can start actually interacting and dealing with IPv6. So, step 2, configure an IPv6 address on gig 00. So, copying the address, int gig 0/0 IPv6 address. When you're configuring IPv4 addresses, you just type IP address, but with IPv6, it's pretty much the same similar command structure, but you just do the v6. We don't do the subnet, we do the slash notation here. So we are assigning 2001:db8:1:1. That is essentially our network portion. And then the ::, represents the other 3 hextets. And then 1 is in that last hextet group. /64. Hit enter. No shutdown to turn it on. Alright, so that's one part of it. You're going to notice we have a link local address. Those are addresses that are used just on the local link. But I have a lot of learners going, wait, we just set up an IPv6 address. Why do we need to do another one? You can actually do multiple addresses on the interface. And we're going to say this one is link local. Anything FE80 are link local addresses, but that way we can have this one used over and over. So if you want to think of these as more private link specific, more like an APIPA address. They only work on the link. They won't be crossing any layer 3 boundary at all. Alright, that takes care of that. I've now completed step 2. Scroll down. Alright, step 3, now at the top of the list. Enter the command is necessary to move to the interface to gig. You could exit back to the global configuration. Oh. Exit back and then navigate to gig 01. It really depends on how you want to accomplish that. Multiple ways, but that's is what it is. IPv6 address. I just copied that from the chart. Refer to the address table. Alright. I'm also going to do the link local address here as well. IPv6 address. Link local. Alright, perfect. No shutdown. I've now turned on this link. And you'll notice that changed to green as soon as I turned it on. So I've now completed step 3. Step 4, configure the serial interface. I'm going to grab the address from my chart. You don't have to back out to the global configuration. You can issue the interface command from within another interface. And that's a perfect example. It didn't change the prompt, but we're now underneath that interface. IPv6 address, IPv6 address, link local, no shut. This will now do the connection to the ISP. Perfect. All right, so that takes care of step 4. Step 5, verify the IP address. So we're going to exit the configuration mode and we're going to do some show commands. End takes you all the way back to the privilege exec mode. You could also exit one at a time, but you don't have to. Show IP int brief. I know I'm typing the wrong command. This is what most people are familiar with. If you do IPv6, you're going to notice the interfaces are up and there's addresses. This will show no IP address because this IP, if it doesn't say IPv6, it's referring to IPv4. These say IPv6, so that way we can see that there's a difference between the two. Alright, so we did that. If any address is incorrect, repeat. And okay. All the addresses are good. So we want to go ahead. Oh, if you fat fingered something, you could always reissue the full command with the no in front of it. That would delete anything. So no shutdown, it actually deletes the shutdown command on that interface. So you know what? I'm going to go back to configure T. Let's say that this was the wrong address. Retype the rest of the command and just put no in front of it, and it would delete everything. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and copy everything. Copy on start. Alright, I've taken care of step 5D. Scroll down a little bit. I'm now in part 2. Step 1. We're going to go ahead and set up some addresses. On accounting. Alright, yep. Accounting, IPv6. We're going to go to our desktop tab, IP configuration. Again, not DHCP. Set this address. /64. FE80, that's its local address. And then we're going to set the default gateway to its local link local address, because we literally set each router interface to use a FE80::1 link local address, so all of them can use that as their default gateway. So we are kind of crossing between GUA, global unicast address, that's that 2001 address, and link local addresses. So you can do that with IPv6 type addresses. Alright. Exit out. Configure the CAD server. Alright, same thing. I'm going to grab it from the chat. 64 FE80 : 1. Oh. Move that from DNS to DH, or from DNS to the default gateway. Alright, I'm going to double check accounting just to make sure. Alright, that is done. So, part 2, step 1 and step 2 are both complete. I'm going to scroll down a little more. Configure the CAD, we've already done. So, part 3, configuring IPv6 addresses on the client. We're going to repeat this for all the devices. And then do part 4. Okay, so I actually am going to copy the FE80. And just do that to all of them real quick. Okay. Engineering. Alright, engineering is done. I know it says 100% complete, but we are not done. The lab said to configure all the addresses, so that's what we need to do. The grading seems to be broken on it. Alright, billing. Alright, last one is cells. Alright, all of them are good. So billing, engineering, all good. Alright, so part 4, test and verify. We're going to open a web server on cells. Web browser. And we put in the IP address of the account server and it does pull up a web page. If we want to go to the CAD box, type in the address of CAD. Alright, so we've done accounting and CAD. On any client, can we ping the 2001 DB81A001? I'm going to scroll all the way up because this is important. ISP. So we're trying to ping the ISP. I'm going to go to cells, ping, paste in the address. Yes, we can. So that is the completion of the lab. Let's check results. Everything is green. 52 out of 52, so we are good. If you have any questions, thoughts, or issues, please feel free to let me know. Thank you. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out. Again, with this material, being able to ask questions and discuss some of the topics in the lecture help build long-term retention, so do not be afraid to communicate with this topic. Again, I'm here if you need anything. Thank you.